Nigel, your side are back in Championship action this weekend after the international break. 8 games to go. How do you feel this break has served your side?
Well, we'll find out when we get everybody back. I think that's the first thing to take note of. We're still waiting for 3 of them to come back, and hopefully they come back fit. But I think it just gives us a chance now to look at this last group of games and try and finish the season as well as we can. I mean, that's the objective, because it's still a part of how we move the squad forward, how we move the club forward. We'd like to finish with a positive run and put the disappointment of the last couple of games behind us. And with a bit of luck, we'll get 1 or 2 players back for these games.
Reading, the visitors this weekend, a very different challenge to the one away at Swansea. They're a direct side, aren't they? And the battle in the wide channels is going to be key to stop them getting balls into the box.
Well, we've done better this season against some direct sides. In the past, we've not always been able to deal with those. We didn't play particularly well at Reading earlier in the season, and they've had a bit of a mixed bag. So they've had problems off the field to deal with again, but they've also spent time in the playoff places and have had a difficult run. So look, a lot of sides in this division do come up with problems like that throughout the course of a season. We know it'll be a tough game. They've got some good players. They've got some talented players. And a manager who will want to finish the season strongly for their own reasons. So another tough game, but it's one that our players are looking forward to, because we want to try and get some momentum in the last few games.
Over 20,000 tickets sold for the weekend, another big crowd at Ashton Gate, but that's also been backed up by season tickets selling at a record pace. Over 6,000 already sold at the moment. That support in the West Country has improved a lot and is going to continue to get better.
Well, I mean, it's great news for us, and it's really important that we give our fans and our fan base, a wider fan base, some optimism looking forward. So yeah, we've had some setbacks this year, but there's also been some good stories, some positive aspects of our season with the players individually developing. But I think as a team, we've developed a style of playing which I think lends itself to some exciting football at times. But we've just got to become more consistent and make sure that like I say, the only thing that's really important now is that we finish this season with a good run of performances, hopefully some really positive results, and that we finish as high as we can. That's the big thing for us.
You touched on availability earlier. Before the break, you spoke about potentially having Tommy Conway, Cal Naismith and Matty James back. How are those trio getting on?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, they'll all be training today. And then we'll make decisions based on what's not just best for this weekend, but for the rest of the season. It's really important when players make that transition from being out for quite a while, that it's not just thrown back in at the deep end necessarily. So Tommy's been in a really good place now for 2 or 3 weeks. So Matty James is doing very well, so I think they'll both be available. Cal's making good progress too. So and Thomas Callas is back out on the grass too, which is good for us. So we've got players who are making progress.
Unfortunately, one player that will be without is Mark Sykes through suspension. However, like you said previously, it does afford other players opportunities to come in and stake a place for that spot in the team. Yeah,
I mean it's a very annoying occurrence for us, and for me again, it just highlights the inconsistencies that we have to endure in terms of feedback that we get from the authorities. I just think it's we've seen so many events this year where our players have been put at risk by challenges and they go unnoticed. I find it. I find the levels of decision making by the authorities to be a huge frustration for us and for the players too. And it's something that's, I think, stopping the game from flourishing.
And of those players that are coming back from the internationals, are there any doubts from a fitness perspective of any of the individuals, or are they?
Well,
okay?
Anis is back in today, so we'll see him. The others we'll have to see when they come back in, which will be later today and then tomorrow. So that's one of the problems with international weeks is that when you've got the preparation for the game at the weekend, sometimes depending on where the players are, their internationals are played, you don't get them back until really the Friday to train. So we'll see how they are, but we've got a few options.
Of those lads that obviously haven't been away, they've come in this week. I can imagine there's been a little bit of a renewed energy across training, and I can imagine they'll be wanting to get stuck in ahead of the challenge this weekend against Reading. Yeah,
they've been good. They've been really good, nice and bright. I think the players have needed a bit of a break, because we've relied on more or less the same players. There's been a few new opportunities for younger players, and this week in training we've had a look at some more of the youngsters because we need to make the numbers up, and that's been very beneficial for us and for those young players too. So there's always, it depends how you look at things. For me, it's about just making the most of the circumstances that come around. International breaks give an opportunity to refresh, not just physically but mentally. And whoever gets opportunities between now and the end of the year who haven't had them before, be interesting to see how they take them.
Thank you and good luck.
Pleasure.